God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. As quoted by John Dewey, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Education should always aim at imparting knowledge, skill, and information to the students in order to make them self-reliant. Knowledge is considered as power by which things are done. I, Philip Louis Balasamy, the principal of Don Bosco School of Excellence, Egmore, Chennai, always strive to ensure a positive and conducive environment for our education, and at the same time cultivate leadership qualities in others to accomplish a qualitative improvement in the teaching learning process. Our school's vision is to educate and empower young people to emerge as future leaders with integrity, outstanding skills, and compassion. Our goal is to provide an all-round development or holistic development to the children in order to make them future-ready, competitive, and value-based citizens of the world. Together with our students, faculty, alumni, parents, and international partners, we aim to build a sustainable and equitable world. Moving to the most powerful word, pedagogy. Pedagogy is the art, science, or profession of teaching. This broad definition covers various aspects of teaching, and there are many moving parts to pedagogy that include teaching styles, feedback, and assessment. In general, it means teaching children. I, as a pedagogical leader, have tried to set the direction for our school improvement and effective student learning. In fact, I can proudly say that I have been practicing the pedagogical leadership following the footsteps of patron saint and guide St. John Bosco. His preventive system of kind understanding and sincere religion has enabled us to have a successful educative system, assuring that the student learning happens through various sources. Similarly, this annual pedagogical plan is student-centered, involving students as active participants in the learning process. After attending the training session organized by the CBSE board, I have initiated the process of framing the annual pedagogical plan by delegating the same to a competent group of teachers. These teachers have done thorough study of the handbook and divided among themselves the responsibility of studying each of the 5 descriptors mentioned there. The teachers have involved all the stakeholders in the process and collected their views and responses through Google Form questionnaires. Under each descriptor, the actionables and sub-actionables which stood on average scale was picked up based on the 5-point grading scale that was given. We would like to mention that the responses received showed that a majority of the parameters were already implemented and embedded in the school's learning process. I hereby invite the team of teachers to explain in detail the annual pedagogical plan of our school. Thank you.
We are thankful to our beloved principal for setting up the contest of this meeting. Now, I am very much privileged to provide you more details on the approach that was followed. Our pedagogical plan has 5 key factors, which are motivate, revitalize, creative, coach, and explore. Motivate, to focus on students' continual learning and achieving. Revitalize, to inculcate new methods of teaching. Creative, to encourage creative thinking skills. Coach, to empower students with effective teaching strategies. And explore, to imbibe experimental learning and exploring possibilities. Our principal attended the CBSE board training on annual pedagogical plan and is initiated to form a team of 7 teachers and briefed them the gist of the pedagogical leadership handbook and guided us with his directions. After reviewing the handbook and the relevant materials, the team members were able to interpret the essence and insights of this pedagogical plan. The following teachers are the owners for the appropriate action item. Ms. Vijay Bharati, leading the topic Engaging in Teachers' Professional Development. Ms. Carmel handles initiating innovations in the school. Ms. Reena takes care of leading the teaching learning process. Ms. Sharon handles developing a learning culture. And Ms. Joyce leads the topic Building an Inclusive Culture. Several brainstorming meetings were conducted with specific agenda and decision. The first meeting started with the reviewing of the annual pedagogical plan handbook, and appropriate action items were assigned. The second one was on the approach for the feedback survey and was concluded to frame questionnaires to 4 major stakeholders: the school management, parents, teachers, and students. In the third meeting, discussion on questions for the survey was conducted. All the questions were validated and decided to be uploaded using Google Forms. The next meeting was on the review of responses from the survey. The 5-point grading scale analysis rating was done for each descriptor. Then a brainstorming meeting was conducted to validate the 5-point grading that were derived out from the survey by each descriptor, and areas of strength and areas of improvement were identified. And a final meeting was the review of the actionable on each topic. Consensus from the team members on the 5 steps planning was agreed. The 5-step planning is briefed as follows, while the actionable will be detailed by the respective descriptor after this introduction. Step 1. This indicates the present position of the school in respect of the actionable identified, the areas that need attention for improvisation, and the method to be adopted to achieve it. Finally, the school is to be rated. Step 2. The need to recognize what needs to be undertaken in the upcoming years with respect to each descriptor so that the school can provide better learning to the students. Step 3. How we need to achieve what we want to achieve and who are the people responsible. Step 4. It focuses on the timeline to be fixed, review of the implemented actionable on a monthly, quarterly or yearly basis. Step 5. What will be the impact of the implementing the annual pedagogical plan, the results that are expected to be achieved, especially the students' outcome. Now, I request all the 5 descriptors to enlighten their actionables on their topics. Thank you one and all.
This is Vijay Bharati, working in Don Bosco School of Excellence as PGT Economics. I am here to explain how we frame the annual planner for the first descriptor, Engaging Teachers' Professional Development. We all will surely agree that there is a need for professional development among teachers. We defined effective professional development as structured professional learning that results in changes in teaching practices and improvement in students' learning outcome. Here, we consider teachers as both subjects and objects to change. When I say teachers as subjects to change, I mean that they have to accept and equip themselves for the changing needs in the teaching process according to the present requirement to help children face the future. Thus, they also create change in the lives of students. So, to note our teachers' professionalism towards teaching, we framed questions to be asked to our stakeholders, that is parents, students, staff and management under 4 actionables. The actionables are ascertaining the needs for professional development through collaborative practices, creating opportunities for continuous and comprehensive professional learning, promoting reflective thinking and metacognitive thinking practices among teachers, and empowering teachers to become the agent of change. At least 5 questions were asked under each of these actionables. After analyzing the responses given by the stakeholders, we identified the areas of strength and also the areas of improvement in engaging teachers' professional development. The areas of strength are scaffolding learning through tasks, students' engagement in class is high, students' initiative in learning is high, progress shown by students through teaching is also high, the school values teachers' talent, that is distributed leadership to improve overall school system, processes and environment. In this process, we also identified some areas to be improved. We followed 5-step method to come up with the annual pedagogical plan for this descriptor and improve those areas. We took some of the actionables as they need continuous planning irrespective of the good responses from the parents and student side, like demonstration of subject knowledge and deliverance of subject content. Around 80% of parents and students agreed that the demonstration process is outstanding, but still we have included it. We also identified that there is a need to practice critical thinking question in classroom. There is an existing need for professional development programs among teachers. This was asked by our teachers themselves, as this is also a continuous process that has to be practiced to cater the need of new generation. As we are striving towards excellence, we want our teachers to have improved demonstration skill, and there should be a professional approach in teaching learning process, and children should be able to answer the critical thinking questions in any competitive exams. In the coming year, we are planning to have professional development program at least twice a year by some resource person. There will be frequent classroom observation by the school heads, and frequent meetings will be conducted among the teachers of same subject to discuss the subject deliverance and to practice critical thinking questions in the class. All these practices will be reviewed, reflected and modified quarterly based on the feedbacks that will be collected from teachers and students. All of these will be possible by the collective responsibilities shouldered by our teachers and professional development guide under the guidance and leadership of our beloved principal. These are the action plans for the first descriptor, that is engaging teachers' professional development. I am glad to be part of this planning committee, and I extend my sincere thanks to the principal for having given me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
I am Kamal Jerijoikum, PGT English, working in Don Bosco School of Excellence, EGMO. I am here to brief you on the second descriptor, which is initiating innovations in school. What is innovation? Innovation in a school is about the generation of new ideas that exhibit the ability of teachers and students in thinking out of the box, using non-conventional approaches that lead to enhanced improvement in the teaching and learning process. In order to create a culture of innovation, a paradigm of shift in the individual as well as the institutional way of thinking and functioning is required. This allows for and nurtures unique ideas, talents and builds resilience in the face of challenges among the students. There are 3 actionables involved here. They are creating a culture of innovation where the expertise, knowledge and skills of teachers and students should be built to promote a growth mindset. The second actionable is expanding perspectives of the teachers to implement innovative pedagogies which promotes collective responsibility and challenges teachers and students to try innovative pedagogies and also to reflect on their experiences. The third actionable is creating opportunities for students' learning and innovation, which allows for exciting juxtaposition of ideas that are free from rigid and traditional boundaries, focusing on competency building, encouraging hands-on learning through innovations. Keeping these 3 actionables in mind, a questionnaire was prepared and sent through the Google Forms to the various stakeholders, and their responses were recorded. The parents and students agreed that our school, Don Bosco School of Excellence, is indeed ahead in terms of the usage of technology in a modern classroom setup, as a school boasts of the use of state-of-the-art innovative technology. Hence, the plan was based on a marginal scale of points that we thought would best benefit the school. We identified the first step where we are as a school. That is, we found that some of the students were a bit hesitant in voicing out their ideas and thoughts. So, in order to help students overcome their fear and share their hesitation, an action plan focused on bringing them out of their shell was devised, and this was the step 3. How will we achieve what we want to do? We have planned to engage children actively in the classroom by making them come up with ideas themselves. The student council, which includes the prefects of the school, will also play an active role in both the classroom as well as outside classroom activities. The responsibility would be taken up by the principal, coordinators, subject teachers as well as by the students themselves. The timeline would be decided based on the plan throughout the year, and the expected outcome would be that students would be able to put forth their ideas without any fear, either verbally or non-verbally. It was also found that there was a tendency to give up an innovative idea at the first instance of failure among the teachers. In order to help the teachers overcome this, plans were devised wherein teachers will be encouraged to come out of their comfort zone, get together with their counterparts and co-teachers to improvise on their ideas to suit the conditions of the classroom in order to make that idea work. Challenges for teachers and students would help them showcase their innovative ideas, and they would be motivated to think out of the box. The outcome would be that teachers as well as students would maintain that level of excitement that is a mark of a good teaching learning experience, which would in turn lead to effective learning. This would also benefit learners who were previously facing difficulty in rote learning. The end result would be that our students would be future ready and be able to meet any challenge by thinking on their feet and satisfy the expectations of the society at large. This needs the active participation and cooperation of the teachers, students and the principal to be implemented throughout the academic year. Together, they can lead the school on towards greater heights. Thank you.
Hello, I am Josephine Reena, working as PRT Max at Don Bosco School of Excellence, here to give a brief up on the third descriptor, leading the teaching and learning process. This is the nerve center which shapes the student's behavior in alignment of the school's values and theories of learning. The process requires teachers to learn what their students need to learn. This process requires teachers to plan what their students need to learn, how they will learn, tracking their progress, whether they have made progress from the starting points. So after discussion with the team on this descriptor, a questionnaire was framed and responses was received from the stakeholders through Google form. Based on the responses, the following sub-actionables were discussed. The first actionable under this was developing a shared understanding of teaching and learning. And the sub-actionables, that is the areas to work on here, is to create an awareness that other resources are involved in creating a shared understanding of the learning, and that the school has an effective vision inclusive of activities where everyone feels consulted and involved. So, how are we going to overcome this? Was the question which lay before us. Facilitating learning through the use of metacognitive strategies like brainstorming that will identify, monitor and regulate cognitive processes, and also a collection of high interest reading materials will aid in it. This process would result in a more organized setup with a clear timeline of identifying strategies that support them to attain learning goals. And how are we going to achieve this? Under the guidance of the principal, all the teachers will work on this process, which will be initiated in the beginning of the year with its implementation throughout the year. It will empower students to think about their own thinking, to become self-regulating learners, and to develop a strong sense of agency in their learning. The second actionable is creating a conducive environment for learning. The area of strength is that the school management disciplines and encourages students to contribute individually. The area of strength is that the school management disciplines and encourages students to contribute individually for an atmosphere conducive to learning. The sub-actionable that we found to work here was to provide an environment where every child is encouraged to develop their full potential and to motivate introvert students to express themselves. To overcome this, the measure taken here is organizing a variety of competitions, clubs, experimentation as well as profession-wide research and having a database of who is participating in what and who is left out. This in turn would create an environment where everyone feels included and appreciated, thus creating a healthy environment. This could be achieved by creating a plan of what and when it is going to happen with feedback from the students of what they want and with the data of who is participating. This would be executed by the class teachers with monthly projects happening throughout the year. The third actionable is building capacity to use data in teaching learning process. The area of strength was that the school provides new technologies on rapidly developing fields of knowledge. The sub-actionable to work here is to use the data effectively for self-evaluation and to identify where students could improve. How could we overcome this? The measure taken here is by developing self-evaluation techniques and questionnaires after each lesson every week with specified mentors to guide and feedback on the learning design elements that best supported their progress. This would in turn develop self-evaluation and thus creating better outcomes. This could be achieved by developing questionnaires with training in mentoring and self-evaluation. This would be executed throughout the year on a weekly basis by the subject teachers. The fourth actionable is to encourage teachers to become reflective practitioners. The sub-actionable is providing teachers with opportunities to observe effective instructional practice among colleagues in their own school as well as with those in other schools whenever possible. This could be achieved by taking initiative to collaborate with schools with the same outlook and by arranging more events between the schools for exchange of talents and academic consultations, which in turn would promote healthy peer understanding and development of learning among the students. The responsible people to ensure the implementation would be the principal and teachers, executed throughout the year in a term-wise manner, which in turn would promote healthy environment to grow. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Sharon Rahini, working as an English teacher in the primary section in Don Bosco School of Excellence. The fourth descriptor in the pedagogical plan is developing a learning culture. So, what is a learning culture? A culture of learning establishes the beliefs, norms, values and expectations that the school community has with respect to student learning. Now, what are all required to create a good learning culture? Creating a good learning culture requires establishing a safe, positive, respectful and nurturing learning environment in which intellectual rigor is promoted. Such an environment will help the students to develop in multiple ways. It will also help them to learn from teachers, peers and the community. Under this descriptor, we have actionables like creating the social glue by building trust, developing policies and systems to support culture of learning and keeping students at the heart of learning culture. As you all know, based on all the three actionables, a questionnaire was prepared and given to all the four stakeholders. The result of the questionnaire helped us to know where exactly we stand as a school. Under the first actionable, creating the social glue by building trust, the positive side that we found in our school were positive trust-building relationship and giving confidence to teachers, parents and students that they are safer when they feel vulnerable. The area of development in this actionable was creating opportunities for students' well-being through personalized career coaching. In order to build on this area, the principal in future will provide personalized career coaching classes to students on a regular basis. In this way, the student will get to know the career options, will learn key skills and will also become job ready. Especially, this will benefit the students of grade 10 in learning to choose the right stream according to their interest, and students of grade 12 will also know what to choose when they go to college. Next, under the second actionable, developing policies and systems to support culture of learning, the positives that we had were providing sufficient feedback and taking corrective actions, and driving teachers to design effective training programs, which in turn helps the children's learning. The sub-actionable to be considered in this was motivating students with rewards and recognitions for their knowledge sharing. The children in our school are of course motivated with rewards every month with all the competitions. Other than this, they are also rewarded specially during Children's Day, Annual Day, Independence, Pongal, etc. So what can be done more to motivate them? Appropriate rewards. Yes, appropriate rewards can be given to students, something that is attractive and useful for them. Then, students who continuously contribute for the welfare of other students can be recognized by giving them certain posts. For example, the student who gives innovative ideas consistently can be made as a creative head in school. The principal and in-charge teachers will ensure that this plan is being followed throughout the year. Looking at all these extrinsic motivations, more students will come forward to share their knowledge with others. Thus, in this way, we can help the students' community to showcase their hidden talents. The third and the last actionable is keeping students at the heart of learning culture. The bright and positive side of this actionable in our school was providing sufficient technology to students and teachers to link information flexibly and dynamically. In our school, we have the latest technology. We have census board in all the classes to enhance and make the process of learning more interesting. The sub-actionables which can be improved under this area were encouraging students to take responsibility for their own learning at their own pace and as per their learning style, and developing students' ability to reflect on their strengths and areas of development across subjects. Teachers must encourage the children to take responsibility for their own learning. Each child is unique and has its own way of learning everything. In that case, as teachers, we must help them to be responsible towards the tasks assigned to them. School is a place where the child identifies its strengths and areas of development. Therefore, the teachers must help the students to identify and reflect on their strengths and areas of developments across subjects. This will help the students to grow academically strong and sound. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Joyce working as TGT English in Don Bosco School of Excellence, Chennai, throwing light on the descriptor 5, which is building an inclusive culture. What is an inclusive culture? An inclusive culture starts from the school premises, valuing and facilitating the full participation and belonging of everyone, that is the students, educators, management, support staff, alumni and the parents. All should realize their potential and contribute to the life of the school. In an inclusive culture, diverse experiences, perspectives and gifts are seen to enrich the school community. To understand inclusion, it is important to acknowledge that each child is unique in terms of physical ability and mental capacity and has a preferential learning style. There are 4 actionables under this descriptor, the first being creating an environment of acceptance, celebrating the differences as natural human diversity and treating them as an opportunity to learn. It also aims at scrutinizing the existing barriers of inclusion and to find ways to overcome them by involving the students, teachers, parents and the community. The second being formulating inclusive policies and structures. Here, we build knowledge and skills to teach a diverse group of learners through continuous professional development. We also emphasize on group processes and a problem-solving approach. The third actionable is adopting an inclusive teaching practice. This actionable provides teachers opportunity to work in teams, share their ideas, and reflect on the best practices, to develop shared expectations for teachers to work together to improve the learning outcomes of students. It is mandatory to monitor, track, and support the children who are at risk of exclusion, marginalization, and underachievement. The fourth and last actionable is support student learning. This actionable encourages flexible grouping of students during learning, aims at identifying the gaps, plan for early intervention, and individualize the learning. Also, to use positive behavior and support strategies to address behavior issues. As mentioned by my colleagues, a questionnaire was prepared taking into consideration 3 of the mentioned actionables under this descriptor, and the responses of the stakeholders were documented and analyzed. The responses were predominantly positive, but there is always a scope for improvement. So, we identified a few actionables wherein we could do better. We have followed the 5-step action plan for the same. Under the actionable, formulate inclusive policies and structures. When we wanted to assess where we are now as a school, some parents felt that children are rejected and sent away to special education classes when they are lagging. In the coming year, we are planning to identify the students with difficulty and evaluate the same. It's helpful to engage with families to share information and design strategies that enhance student learning. We will achieve this through in-service training programs, which will equip the teachers to handle the children with learning difficulty better. The teachers can design learning experiences that connect prior content knowledge to new learning. They can modify and adapt materials and resources to meet the diverse learning needs of the children. The subject teachers, special educator, coordinators, academic deans will be responsible for the same. What will be the timeline for implementation? It definitely will be an year-round process. There will be no need for separating the students who have difficulty. They will be a part of the class. Thereby, the students will remain motivated and we can bring in integrated learning environment in the school. Under the actionable, create an environment of acceptance, our school assessed that students are not given equal opportunities to take up responsibilities in the school. To achieve the same, it was agreed that a committee can be formed to make sure students are all given equal chances to take up various responsibilities in the class or in the school level on a rotation basis. Student leaders can be appointed to organize and coordinate the same. Teachers can be allotted to monitor and guide the students. The responsible people under this actionable will be the student council, class teachers, subject teachers, and the respective heads. The implementation of the same is all year round. This action will ensure that every child gets equal opportunity by the end of the year. Thereby, you create an environment of acceptance. Under the actionable, support student learning, we found our school teachers are unable to identify and help the students overcome the barriers in learning. In the coming year, we look forward to creating a safe learning environment where students feel encouraged to express their difficulty and to take risks. To achieve this, we will need to see that time should be allotted regularly to share information and best practices with colleagues to improve practice and overcome any lag in the teaching learning process. Frequent and appropriate feedback should be provided to the students during the class activities, which should be duly documented. The responsibility lies on the special educator and the subject teachers. and the timeline for implementation can be done on a weekly basis. The impact predicted is teachers can identify, evaluate, rectify the learning process of the students, thereby bridging the gap. In this way, we pave the way for self-confident children. I am thankful for the opportunity given to be part of this team.